Hello, everybody, and welcome to this women's volleyball matchup between the Denmark Vikings and the Waupaca Comets. I'm Brett McNamara, and you're listening on Zaleski Sports. The starters are about to be introduced. And they're just doing a special announcement real quick for the WIAA. As we await the starters for Denmark. Denmark coming in on, at this one, 17-6 overall, 2-3 in conference. They beat Reedsville 2-1 in sets last week, Thursday. Then over on the Waupaca side, 19-10 overall, 2-2 in conference, and beat Lake Country Lutheran at Lake Country Lutheran 2-0 in sets. So you can hear the starters for Denmark being announced. Starting lineups are brought to you by Associated Bank, where in every market they serve, Associated Bank is committed to uplifting colleagues, customers, and communities to be stronger. And if you have not joined us here at a Waupaca volleyball broadcast, they have a pretty good, let's say, show going on for the starters. Lights turn off, and you can see it right now. They have a little introduction, so we're going to send it down to the introduction real quick. I'm going to be honest, I've never seen that good of an introduction anywhere across any sports that I've broadcasted or I've witnessed or played. It's just, that's crazy to me. But you can hear the starters once again being introduced. Haley Bichard. And last time I broadcasted a Waupaca game was for softball, so it's been a little bit for me, at least. So we'll see how good this volleyball squad is. Lots more volleyball matchups going on at Zaleski Sports tonight. Bondul, Lolo, Scandinavia, Almond, Bancroft, and Pacelli, Port Edwards, Pittsville, Wausau East, and Marshfield. Edgar, Newman Catholic, Arbondale, Stratford, Spencer, and Neilsville, and then Greenwood and Columbus Catholic, all playing tonight on Zaleski Sports on YouTube, of course. As it looks like we are ready to go here in Waupaca. The starters for Waupaca are going to be Ava Adamzek, Haley Bichard, Peyton Carlson, Ava Whittle, Molly Martins and Taylor Kling. Then over on the Denmark side, number 13, Paige Selner. Number 4, Bryn Delarwell. Number 11, Madison Malfroid. Number 6, Gabrielle Sinclair. Number 5, Geneva Carmen. Number 2, Aiden Dewar. And the libero, number 7, Addison Cam. Forgot to mention the libero for Waupaca, Sage Soto. As it looks like we're ready to go with Aiden Dewar serving it off for Denmark. Gets it over the net pretty easily. Picked up by Carlson. High in the air. Bechard hits that one over. Collected by the libero, Kane. Just tapped over. Bechard's there, though. Here comes a big spike and a point for Waupaca to start this one. That's Ava Adamczak with the spike in the score to make it 1-0 Waupaca. Good start here for the Comets. As serving it for Waupaca will be Ava Adamczak. And it's going to be an ace. So you can see the student section for the Comets. They are allowed. And you heard them say it. She is a freshman, and there's going to be almost another point. You got to get it over, and it doesn't. Just barely hits the net on the attempt from Bryn Delarwell. Delarwell. Here comes another serve from Adamczak. High in the air. Here comes a hit over across the net from Pasilo. A block and a score and another point for the Comets. They have 4 straight here, 4-0 Waupaca. Here comes the serve from Adamczak. Collected. Here's a big spike and a score. Set up perfectly for Ava Whittle, the senior. And the Vikings collect their first point of the night. So down 4. Puts one on the board. Here's the serve from Kane. And that's another point for the Comets. Points coming very quickly no matter who's scoring. A couple hits and a point. So 5-1 Waupaca. I feel like we just started the game. High in the air. It's going to be collected by Molly Martins. And there's a point for Denmark. I can't even look at my sheet, and there's another point. So very quickly, back and forth between this one. 5-2 Comets, and that one's going to head out on the serve, and it's going to be a point for the Comets. 6-2 now. El Poblana, Mexican-American Grill, brings a full and diverse menu of breakfast, lunch, and dinner options to Waupaca. Always fresh, always authentic. Stop into El Poblano on Country Road QQ in Waupaca. Serve goes out of bounds there for the Comets. It's going to be 6-3 Waupaca here early in set number 1. Serving it for Denmark is going to be Rebecca Dittmer. Bechard there. Here comes Carlson with a spike. And Denmark collects that one. Let's see if they set up Carlson once again. They do. And they're going to give the point to the Comets. So 7-3 Waupaca on the big spike from Peyton Carlson, the senior. Comes the serve from Carlson. Gets it over pretty good. A little bit behind there for Paige Selner. Bechar, nice dive. Hit over by Adamczak. And Bechard can't collect that one. It was straight at her on the hit from Dane Dewar. And a point for the Vikings now. Once again, the Vikings coming in at 17-6 overall, 2-3 in conference. They beat Reedsfield 2-1. in the last match. And that one can't get over on the hit from Taylor Kling, the senior. And then over on the Waupaca side, 19-10, 2-2 in conference. And of course, beat Lake Country Lutheran at Lake Country Lutheran 2-0 in that match. That one heads over, collected by a Viking. High in the air and a spike. Bachard hits it up to the roof. That's going to be a point for the Vikings, and they're making their way back now. It's only 7-6 now. Comets still have a 1-point lead. Nice job here from the Vikings, though, to put some points on the board after down 4-0. As soon as I say that, they hit it out of bounds on the serve. And it's another point for the Comets. So it's going to be the libero, Sage Soto on the serve for the Comets. Collected by Soto now. Setting up Adam Zach. Bachard's there. Carlson now. Adam Zach once again. And that time it hits the net. Point for the Vikings, 8-7 now. Serving it for the Vikings is going to be Madison Melfroy, the sophomore. Here's a big spike, but that one's going to head out of bounds on the hit from Molly Martins. So serving it once again for the Vikings is going to be Madison Melfroy. Sophomore getting early playing time. Bachard collects that one, set up perfectly for Martins, and that one goes out of bounds on the hit from the libero, Addison Kane, over on Denmark. So it's going to be a point for the Comets, 9-8 lead. Back and forth matchup, like I mentioned before, the points just coming quickly for both sides. So we'll see if that continues throughout all the sets. Bachard there. Here's Carlson, high up in the air, just hits it over lightly though. Here's the big hit, and that block's going to head out of bounds. Give you a point for Denmark. Bachard tried to block it back to the side of the Vikings, and she couldn't complete that one, so it'll be a point for Denmark. Serving now for the Vikings is going to be Dane Dewar. Dewar right to Carlson. Setting up Adam Zach, and that's hit in the air by Kane, and it can't be collected by Dewar. And it's another point for Waupaca. So good start here for the Comets. Huh? A damn shit. And a nice block there from Carlson, but it goes out of bounds once again. And another point for the Vikings, back-to-back points. And we are tied at 10. Subbing out is a damn check for number 6, Olivia Neer. So here's the serve now from the libero, Addison Kane. Nice scoop by the new substitution, Neer. Just hitting it over is Bryn Delarwell. That one's high in the air. I feel like this is a low ceiling compared to other gyms. And a nice hit there from Kane once again. Nice couple plays here from the libero. A big spike from Carlson. And that's exactly what you want to see if you're Team Waupaca, setting up Carlson perfectly to get an attempt where the Vikings can't even get to that one. And the Comets retain the lead. And that one's going to hit the serve, or excuse me, the net on the serve as soon as I say something on by Molly Martins. So Denmark now with the serve. It's going to be number 8. Not sure who's that. The only 8 we have is a sophomore, Chloe Schrader, on the JV roster, but we'll just go with an unknown name for now. So here's 8 with the serve. High in the air, they're going to set up Carlson, and she just taps it perfectly. And you can kind of tell Waupaca just likes to get going. They rush everything. You saw Bachard just hustle right back to serve it right away. Doesn't even high-five her teammates, and that's part of the game plan for Waupaca to get Denmark just exhausted. Bachard with a nice dive and a hit over. And can't get to that one is Bachard. I was going to say on the hit over by, I believe, Ava Whittle. So here's Rebecca Dittmer with the serve. That one's going to head out of bounds. Carlson now with the serve for Waupaca. That one's going to head out of bounds. Serving now for the Vikings going to be Elena Mejia. And that one goes out of bounds, so it's going to be a point for the Vikings. So back-to-back points heading on out-of-bounds serves. And a very back-and-forth match here between the two teams, 14-14. Dittmer hits it over, back over to Denmark's side. They're going to set it up now for number 10. That's Riley Laziva, and it's going to be a point for the Vikings as they take their first lead of the night. No matter what your everyday life looks like, Fleet Farm has you covered at the best prices guaranteed. Auto, pet, bird, farm, snacks, Fleet Farm has everything you need, all at the lowest prices. Serving for Denmark's going to be Madison Melfroid. High in the air for Martins, and that one's blocked. Point Vikings. 16-14 now. And the Vikings starting to take a little bit of a gap here on the scoreboard after being down most of the match. Or excuse me, the set. Here's Martins again. That one stays in a bounds, and a point for Waupaca on the hit by Martins. Makes up for the last play. And serving it for the Comets is going to be, I believe, number 12, Taylor Kling. Getting it over is Kane. Good job there by the Vikings. And Adamchuk. With the hit there. 17-15 lead for Denmark. Here's the setup. They're going to go back on the spike from Ava Adamchuk. Adamchuk, excuse me. Vikings got to get it over here on this one. They do, and that one actually goes out of bounds. So 17-17 now here in set number one. Maybe a little bit of a rally here between the two squads. Carlson. And there's a violation on the Comets, or excuse me, on Denmark. Looks like it was a net violation. It's going to be a point for Waupaca. So 18-17. Here's a Adamchuk with the serve. That one's going to head out of bounds. She'll be coming out now for Olivia Neer. And a big spike there from Carlson. Point Waupaca. It's like a shot out of a cannon right at Denmark. The Comets at 19 now. And Denmark right behind them. Here's a spike and a point for the Vikings, 19-19. We got a good match here. As subbing in is number 8 and number 10, Riley Maziva. Coming out is number 5, Geneva Carmen, and I believe Taylor Yankee. So that's going to be a point for the Comets, and now they are 5 away from taking set number 1. It's Bichard. He's going to be serving this one for the Comets. High in the air. Hitting over just a little bit is Riley Mlazeva. You got to get it over. They do. And not getting there in time is Sage Soto. It's going to be a point for the Vikings. And now they hit the 20 mark. So both teams 5 points away from taking set number 1. We'll see who's going to take it. As Rebecca Dittmer with the serve. That one heads out of bounds. Point for the Comets. And it'll be Carlson now with the serve. And another violation on Denmark, another net violation. And it'll be back-to-back points for the Comets. They are 3 away. Carlson with the serve once again. Hits it over. Dittmer collects that one. Kane over to Dewar. Dewar just gets it over the arms of the Comets, and it'll be a point for the Vikings. Kane will come out now, and subbing in will be Gabrielle Sinkler. Here's the serve from Mejia. Comets gets blocked. A damn check back over to the Comets. And nice hit there, and a great play by Taylor Kling, catching this Denmark's defense off guard and getting the point for Waupaca. So 23-21. Here comes the serve from Soto. Dittmer to 8 and blocked. Nice block there from Martins. Carlson's there. Kling hits it over. Here's Bichard. Back over to Kling. Over to a damn check, and that one's out of bounds. Very close call there, but probably the right one. We have a pretty good view up here, kind of above all the bleachers. So I'd say a pretty good call there from the refs. So serving it now will be Madison Melfroy, the sophomore. 23-22, Comets have the lead. Carlson collects that one. Set up perfectly for Martins, and that one's going to be blocked down. Another point for the Vikings, and we are tied once again on the block and the score from the Vikings. So 23-23 here in set number 1. Here's Melfroy with the serve. Bichard collects that one. They're going to set up Martins here. No, they're going to Carlson. Nice collection there from Kane. High in the air, hit over by Dewar. Martins this time. Nice block. Kane's there. Nice little rally between the two teams. Here's a damn check. That one's blocked once again. Who are they going to set it up? Carlson. There's the point. Peyton Carlson, you knew it was coming eventually. And Denmark not there in time as they get the point. The Comets do, and it's 24-23, and they're 1 point away. That one's heading out of bounds, and we are now going to, I believe, win by 2. So 24-24. And yes, that's correct. Have to win by 2 here. And that one heads out of bounds. So 1 more point. And the Comets take set number 1. It's going to be a damn check. Serving it here for Waupaca. Bichard, Carlson, a damn check, Soto, and Kling. And there's a point for the Vikings. And we're back to 2 points. What a very eventful set number 1. Very back and forth matchup. Both teams have had a little bit of leads, but not too big enough where the other team could catch up. Serving it was Kane. Here's Carlson with a spike and the score. At this point, I think Peyton Carlson can't be stopped. What a spike and a score there from the Comets. They take another 1-point lead here, and they're another point away from taking set number 1. Here's Martins with the serve. That one almost heads out of bounds. They're going to set up Selner. Nice collection. Kane's got to get it over. They do. Comets have a perfect chance. A nice little tap from a dam check. Denmark's there. Carlson. Let's see if they set it back up to there. They will. Spike scores! Peyton Carlson. And the Comets take set number 1 here in Waupaca, 27-25. We're going to head to a commercial break here on Zaleski Sports.
When it comes to propane, this is the best time of the year. Get your fill scheduled before the winter weather sets in, and you'll be glad you did with L&L Propane in Waupaca. Servicing all throughout central Wisconsin, no matter the size of your propane need, L&L can get you set and ready for your home needs, business needs, crop drying, and so much more. Don't get caught paying those late season prices for your propane this year. Just call L&L Propane at 800-924-5975. That's 800-924-5975 for the best propane price of the year.
My grandparents worked so hard their whole life to keep things nice. You want to make sure that you're getting the job done correctly. At no point did I feel like I wasn't being handled by professionals. They were literally taking it on a surgical level, it seemed. Like they were very, very thorough on every step. I feel like Infinity treated my family with the same respect they would have treated their own. I feel like my house is brand new again.
The quality materials that was used when the house was built were below builder grade. I wanted to do something a little exciting, add a little bit of color, a little bit of texture. The Infinity team took time to get to know us. He wanted to know what we wanted. Once he saw my design, he says, well, let's make this happen. It's a big project. Just changed the whole look of the house, and it looks like a brand new home. The Infinity team treated us like we were their family. I would recommend Infinity to anybody.
Selling your car to Dahl Auto is quick and easy. Bring your title and keys, and you'll have a check in as little as 30 minutes. Still owe money on your vehicle? No problem. We'll take care of it. Dahl Auto. Simple.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Waupaca took set number 1, 27-25 against the Denmark Vikings. I'm Brett McNamara, and you're listening on Zaleski Sports. Bob Gold Roofing, now's the time for that new roofing project you've been putting off. Call Bob Gold Roofing for that brand new roof your home deserves. That's Bob Gold Roofing in Amherst. We had to set number 2 here between two competitive teams. It was a very back and forth set number 1, and we're hoping up here that we're going to see that once again. Very eventful. And the fans were really enjoying it as well. And it was all Peyton Carlson once again. Lots of setups for her to spike it home and take some points for the Comets. And it'll be the Comets serving away this one here in set number 2 by Sage Soto, I believe. No, it'll be actually Ava Adamczyk. Waupaca looking to take 2 straight here and put the Vikings on their heels. All right, here we go for set number 2. Adamczyk serves it away. Collected by Alexandria Bryce. Adamczyk with that one. They're setting up Carlson. That one's blocked out of bounds. Another point for the Comets. I said another point. It just feels like Carlson's been scoring everything for the Comets. But it's actually been pretty well-rounded for the squad. That one almost heads out of bounds on the serve. Denmark's got to get over. They do on the hit from Melfroid. That one's a little too far for Bouchard, but on the hit back, Bouchard's there to block it down and get the point for the Comets. So 2-0 start here for Waupaca here in set number 2. Here's a damn check with the serve, collected by Dewar. Hit across by Bryce. Here's Carlson. There's another point. 3-0 start for the Comets. In last set, it was 4-0 Comets. And then Denmark fought its way back, kept on fighting and fighting and fighting, and finally they were eventually tied. And Denmark did have the lead at one point. They were up by 2. I believe it was 17-15, and then went back and forth, tied at 25. So you have to win by 2, or excuse me, tied at 24, and that heads out of bounds on the serve from a dam check. But like I said, tied 24-24. And then eventually the Comets won it 27-25 in set 1. So 3-1 now here in set 2. Comets currently have the lead. Serving it for the Vikings for the first time here in set 2 is going to be the libero, Addison Kane. High up in the air by Martins. Got to get it over, and she does. That's Soto. And just missing it was Elena Mejia. And they're going to give the point to Denmark. I was looking down at the sheet to see who hit it for the Vikings, and I missed it. I believe it was just a violation on the Comets. So it's going to be a point for the Vikings, 3-2. And here's the Comets trying to run around and hit over the ball. They do. So Soto, there's a nice block for Waupaca, gaining their point back, 4-2 on the block from Bouchard. Here's a serve now from Molly Martins. High up in the air. Kane's just going to bump that one over. Setting up Bouchard, and she just taps that one over. See who they set up now. Hits the top of the net. Here's Carlson. Spike. Score. Once again. Peyton Carlson. It was blocked out of bounds, but just the power from Carlson is unstoppable. Denmark can't get there in time. It's another point for the Comets, 6-2 lead here in set number 2. And the thing I noticed in set number 1, there was no timeouts called. So 2 timeouts remaining for both squads. Here's the big hit from Elena Mejia, gaining the point for the Vikings, 6-3 now. Here's the Comets now setting up Carlson. Carlson just taps it over. Now the Vikings just tap it over. Let's see if they set up one for a spike. They do on the hit from Alexandria Bryce. Collected by Carlson now, and she gains the point for the Comets, 7-3. And it'll be Bouchard serving now for Waupaca. Bouchard gets it over. Here's Melfroid now. And a spike and a score from Ava Whittle. A nice start here for Waupaca here in set number 2 after taking set 1. Cast your own future at Waupaca Foundry, now hiring for a number of open positions with a great environment and the chance to work your way up the ladder and truly build your career. Cast your own future at jobs.waupacafoundry.com. Bouchard now with the serve. That one's going to hit the net. It'll be a point for the Vikings. So they cut that lead in half. It's 8-4 now as Rebecca Dittmer subs in for Denmark. She'll serve it away now and hopes to get the Vikings going and make this a competitive set number 2. And a nice hit back there from Elena Mejia. And it's back-to-back points for the Vikings. High up in the air, Carlson with the spike. And of course, the score. 9-5 Comets. At this point, I feel like I should just be saying the score, the new score at least, before Carlson even spikes it over, because it feels like every single time she does, it's a point for the Comets. Block there from Kling. Kling sets it up to a dam check, and that's going to be a double hit and a point for the Vikings. It was Carlson on the serve there, so she wasn't down there. It was a dam check. Couldn't get it over there. Kind of a bad setup, so not necessarily her fault. Serving for the Vikings is going to be Alana Mejia. And another point for the Vikings as they're inching closer and closer to tying this one up. It's now 9-7 Comets. Once again, if you're just joining us, Waupaca takes set number 1, 27-25. It's been mostly all Waupaca here, but Denmark's fighting their way back, and there's an out-of-bounds hit on the attempt by Ava Whittle. It's now 9-8. Waupaca had, I believe, a 4-point lead. Now it's only to 1, and that one barely hits the net but gets over. And that's how the Comets are getting points on the board. Little cheeky plays. And I know that's not on purpose to hit it over the net, or excuse me, the top of the net, but it works anyways. 9-9 now. We are tied here in set number 2. And jumping too early was Whittle, and it'll be another point for the Vikings. So a 4-0 run here for Denmark as they take the lead now 10-9. Student section trying to get the Comets going, but Chard, another costly mistake for Waupaca. It's now 11-9 Vikings. And all these points are coming on the serve from Mejia. Setting it up, and another point for Denmark on the hit by Dane Dewar. The senior. And Mejia is going to serve it once again. A 12-9 lead for the Vikings. Here's a dam check. She hits it over. And somehow it goes over on the Vikings. There's multiple players there. Here's Carlson. Nice collection there from number 8. Hit over by Mejia. Bachard heads up in the air for Whittle, and that one's blocked. And it's a 6-point swing for Denmark. Timeout, Waupaca. And the Vikings are starting to run away with this one. 13-9 here in set number 2. We're going to head to a commercial break here on Zaleski Sports.
The local fourth-generation jeweler, Fletcher's Jewelers in Waupaca, has the perfect variety of diamond engagement rings, wedding bands, bracelets, and so much more. From the moment you step into the store, the service creates an experience you can't find anywhere else. In addition to beautiful new pieces, Fletcher's Jewelers also provides cleaning, repair, and restoration services to keep your existing jewelry as shiny as ever. You can't beat the beautiful selection you'll find at Fletcher's Jewelers in downtown Waupaca.
My favorite part of being in the jewelry business is really the people. Building relationships with the people and becoming part of their family, being part of their traditions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. 13-9 lead here for the Vikings in set number 2. The Comets took set number 1 and on a score of 27-25. We'll see if Mejia and the Vikings can keep their rally going. And there's a spike out of bounds on the hit from a dam check. And another point for the Vikings as a 7-0 run here with Mejia serving. High up in the air, Carlson barely hits it, collected by Miliziva. And another point for the Vikings. 8-0 run for this Denmark squad. It's now 15-9 Vikings. Here's Mejia. That one heads out of bounds, and that will end the run, but still an 8-0 run for Denmark on the serves from Elena Mejia, the sophomore. Now serving for Waupaca is going to be Sage Soto, collected by Dittmer. And a miscommunication between number 8 and Gabrielle Sinclair. Once again, I'm not sure who number 8 is. They're not being on the roster. Here's Bichard collecting that one, setting up a damn check. That one's going to head out of bounds on the spike, and another point for the Vikings. And actually, it's a point for the Comets. It was tipped out of bounds by a Viking. It's now 12-15 Comets down. The restoration experts in Waupaca are the place to turn when things go wrong in your home or commercial business. From weather damage, water issues, fire, sewage, or general cleanup, let the restoration experts get your home back the way it was intended. Point there for the Vikings on the serve. So serving it now for Denmark's going to be the sophomore Madison Melfroyd. Carlson collects that one. They're going to set up Martins. And it was blocked perfectly. Another point for the Vikings. And the Vikings are playing much better here in set number 2. So Melfroyd serving it once again, 17-12 lead. Carlson hits that one. Here's a damn check. Just going to tap that one over. Melfroyd collects it, hit over by Dewar. Here comes the Comets. Floater push from a damn check. Here's Carlson with a spike, and Dittmer can't collect that one. Hit right at her, and a point for the Comets, and they need a lot of that from Carlson if they want a chance to win here in set number 2. And once again, every single time, Carlson just spikes it just like a cannon, just boom. Serve hits the net there, and it's going to be another point for the Vikings. So 18-13 here in set number 2. As here's the serve from Dewar. That one hits the net, so back-to-back serves hitting the net. 14-18 now. And the Vikings get the point on the mistake from the Comets. 19-14 lead. Here's the serve from Kane. High up in the air, set up for Martins. And Mejia, big spike. Nice block there from the Comets. Martins blocked by Mejia. And that's going to stay on the side of the Comets. It's going to be a point for the Vikings there now at that 20-point mark. 5 away from taking set number 2 after dropping set number 1, 27-25. Kane serving it for the Vikings. Collected Soto. Carlson gets that one. Carlson hits it once again. And it's going to be a point for the Comets, a much-needed point. And hopefully they'll bring the momentum towards this Waupaca side to get something going. Down 5, currently in set number 2. Here's a serve from Martins. Stays in bounds. Kane high up in the air for Mejia. Martins there to collect it. Here's Carlson now. Nice block there. And for the first time tonight, the Vikings block the Carlson spike. And back-to-back timeouts now called by Waupaca. 21-15 here in set number 2. We're going to head to another commercial break. We will be back after this.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. And there's a point off the serve for the Comets. As here is Bichard now for Waupaca, trying to get something going, down by 5. 4 points away, the Vikings are. Here's the big hit by Melfroid, and it's a point for the Comets once again. So back-to-back points now. And maybe this is the momentum that Waupaca needs. Bichard. Kane collects that one. That one's going to head back, and Carlson spikes it down. It was like an alley-oop from the other team. So 18-21 now. Down by 3 are the Comets. Nice job here from the Vikings. Playing way better here in set number 2. Bichard with the serve. That one's going to hit the net. Point for the Vikings. They are 3 away from taking set number 2. Here's Dittmer with the serve. High in the air for Carlson. I'm running out of words to use here. Carlson with the spike in the score once again. And the Comets gets the 19 mark, down by 3. Carlson's going to serve it away now. That one touches the top of the net but gets over. Mejia has to track back. And the Comets now setting up a dam check. That one's blocked, and point for the Vikings. And I feel like somebody in the crowd would have that big Viking horn every single time they score. But nobody looks to have one, so that's very unfortunate. 23-19, and a spike hits the top of the net. Vikings are there. A nice dig there from Carlson. A dam check. Hit by Mejia. A point for the Comets. They hit the 20-point mark. 23-20 Vikings. Vikings have had the lead mostly here in set number 2. But can the Comets make a little bit of a comeback here? Soto with the serve. Dittmer with a low dig. And she can't get it high enough for another player. It's another point for the Comets. Down by 2 now. Soto with the serve once again. Dittmer. This time she gets it high enough. Nice play there. Soto high in the air. A dam check. That one is going to be a point for the Vikings. Looks like it hit that rod on the side. So it's going to be a point for the Vikings. And they are now at the 1-point mark from taking set number 2 and evening up this match between the Denmark Vikings and the Waupaca Comets. Here's Melfroid. High in the air. Got to get it over. She can't. That's Molly Martins with the mistake. And the Vikings take set number 2, 25-21. We're going to head to set number 3 here on Zaleski Sports. But first, we're going to take a commercial break.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. B-BT.com.
The big thing for Farmers State Bank is we're a community-oriented bank. We support the community as much as we can. We support all different kinds of organizations, whether it's church organizations or youth organizations, arts organizations, sports, all those things. We help out where we can. The big thing for us is we want to show that we're part of the community and do whatever we can to help and give back. Our slogan is investing in you, and we pride ourselves on that.
It's more than a job. It's semi-annual bonus, free medical clinic, free gym membership, retirement plan contribution, 11 paid holidays, and benefits start on day 1. Apply today. Electrical and mechanical maintenance and production jobs at Waupaca Foundry. Make iron castings the world uses and trusts. Visit jobs.waupacafoundry.com. Equal opportunity employer. Women and minorities encouraged to apply.
In every department at Dahl Auto, you'll find people who've been in the industry for decades. Sales staff with a deep knowledge, not just of cars, but how to build relationships. A service team who always double checks each other's work. Dozens of people you may never meet who've been working for years to make buying and servicing a car feel fast and easy. In over 100 years at Dahl Auto, we've learned to value experience. After working with our team, you'll value our experience too. Dahl Auto, simple.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this matchup between the Denmark Vikings and the Waupaca Comets. I'm Brett McNamara. You're listening on Zaleski Sports. If you're just joining us, Waupaca took set number 1, 27-25. It was very back and forth in that one. And then set number 2, the Denmark Vikings had an 8-0 run, which sparked their victory in set number 2. 25-21 was the final of that one, as we are ready to start set number 3. Experience Waupaca's premier lakefront restaurant at Indian Crossing Casino. You'll find a delicious menu, live music, and stunning lake views, all under one roof at Indian Crossing Casino on County Highway Q in Waupaca. Collected there from Carlson. She'll spike it now. Couldn't get there in time was Mejia. It's a point for the Comets. And both the sets, the Comets had a 3-0 lead in set number 2, a 4-0 lead in set number 1. But then the Vikings always made it competitive. Of course, the Vikings took set number 2. So they are now evened up 1 apiece here in this match. Mejia with a little tap. Carlson both diving for it. Martins is there. High in the air. Here's the spike from Bryce. A nice little rally between the two teams are Carlson. High in the air, collected by Melfroid. Mejia. They're going to go to Martins, as now they're going to set up something. Here's Bryce hitting it over. Bouchard there in time to get the point. And it's another point for the Comets. So they are going to rule it a point for the Vikings. We're going to be tied 1-1 now. Serving it for Denmark's going to be the unknown player once again, number 8. I don't want to just assume it's somebody, so I'm just going to keep on going with number 8. Here's the spike high up in the air. That one heads into the stands. And trying to get there was Bryce. But it'll be a point for the Comets on the big hit from Carlson. So here's Molly Martins now with a 2-1 lead here in set number 3. And Bryce, not a good enough hit there. 3-1 Comets. Culligan Water specializes in all of your water softener, drinking water, and water filtration systems. You can count on Culligan to keep your water pure and healthy with unparalleled service and convenient delivery options. That's Culligan Water. High up in the air, Carlson with a little floater shot. Gets it over perfectly. Here's Bryce. She got to hit it over. She does. Excuse me, that's Addison Kane. Bachard with the spike and the score. 4-1 Comets on the big play from Haley Bachard. Serving it is Martins. They're in time. Bachard once again with a big play, but this time she hits the net. And it's going to be a point for the Vikings. So they cut that lead in half. 4-2 is Rebecca Detmer set to sub in for Alexandria Bryce, a sophomore for a sophomore. And here's Detmer now with the serve. That one heads out of bounds on the serve. And another point for the Comets. So much better set 3 here for Waupaca, but it is early, so I'm not going to jump to conclusions. Kane there to collect that one. Here's the big hit from Dewar. Nice job there from Kinnear to make the play, but point for the Vikings, 5-3 now. Serving it is Mejia. And if you do not remember, Mejia was the server on the 8-0 run. Here's Carlson with a big spike and a nice block there from Dewar. This time the Comets get it over, though. 6-3 now. And the refs are going to talk it over here to see what the point is. I believe it. Waupaca got it over cleanly, and they do. They're going to call a Waupaca point. As Kinnear is going to sub out for a dam check. Here's Carlson now with the serve. Collected by the libero Kane. Setting up Gabrielle Sinclair, and Waupaca can't get there in time. It's a point for the Vikings. Double switch once again for Denmark. Geneva Carmen and Riley Mlaziva subbing in for, Madison Melfroy coming in for Riley Mlaziva and Bryn Delarwell. A big hit there from a dam check, but that one heads out of bounds. And actually, they're going to give it a point to Waupaca. So very close call there. They're going to rule it Waupaca's point, 7-4 now here in set 3. And the libero Sage Soto with the serve. Soto, sophomore. And can't get it over the net. That's Gabrielle Sinclair. And Soto's going to serve it once again with an 8-4 lead. Kane. And another miscommunication between Geneva and Melfroy. And you've seen it a couple times now on that Denmark side. They're going to set up Dewar. Nice dive there from Carlson. Back over to the Viking side. Here's a hit now from Sinclair. Diving once again is Carlson. Bachard gets it over. A nice job there from the Waupaca squad. Big hit from Dewar and a nice block from Molly Martins. And Taylor Kling making the play. The two seniors stepping up big, and another point for the Comets. They have a 6-point lead here in set number 3. Is Sage Soto serving it once again. And being there again is Kling. Back-to-back points from Taylor Kling. As the Comets are clinging on to this lead. 11-4 now in set 3. Soto, a 4-0 run. Refs talking it over with the head coach of the Vikings. Soto gets it over. Dewar. And a very last hit. Nice job there from a dam check to be aware of where the ball was. Bachard high in the air. all the way back out of bounds. And a damn check, another play to get it over. Setting up, and another play there from Martins. It was set up perfectly for Sinclair. High in the air, damn check 3 times in a row. They hit it over the net. Big spike from DeWar. That one heads out of bounds, and finally a point for the Vikings. A very eventful match between two magnificent squads. A 19-10 Waupaca Comets and the 17-6 Denmark Vikings. Having a very competitive matchup. Here's a big spike from Martins. And the score, 12-5. Now for the Comets. Here's Kling. And a miscommunication once again. Not getting there in time was Madison Melfroid. And it's going to be Taylor Kling with the serve once again. 13-5, set 3. Kane there. Over to Bryce. Here comes the setup perfectly for a damn check. Blocked in the air and a point. Can't getting there in time was a Dane DeWar. And it's another point for the Comets. And it's been all Waupaca here in set number 3, a 14-5 lead. We're going to head to a commercial break here on Zaleski Sports. We'll be back.
More sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now.
After a couple years of this, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That's where Midstate Technical College comes in. Got a passion for helping people?
Engineers Morgan CPR.
Maybe you like cars. Are you into science?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's been all Waupaca here in set number 3, 14-5 lead. Serve now from Kling. High up in the air, set up by Soto. Here's the big hit from Bachard. Collected by Gabrielle Sinclair. Hitting it over was Bryce. Here's the play for Bachard. Point for Waupaca. 15-5 lead. And after dropping set number 2, the Comets fighting their way towards taking set number 3 in a 2-1 match lead. Here's Kling with the serve. 2 players there. And a nice hit there from Bella Pasillo. Haven't talked about her tonight a lot, but catching this Comets defense off guard, hitting across the other side. And finally, the Vikings get back on the board as awaiting the serve is Addison Kane, the libero. And that one heads out of bounds, so right as the Vikings gain a point, they give one back. And now serving for the Comets is going to be Ava Adamczyk. Freshman hits it over, collected by Bryce. High up in the air, Mejia is there. Setting up is Carlson, and a nice block there. And a point for the Vikings. 17-7 now. Actually, excuse me, it's 17-6. It was a point for Waupaca. My apologies. Setting it up is Mejia, and she just kind of slaps the ball over. It worked perfectly, but Carlson! Another spike and a score. 18-6 Vikings. And Denmark has no response for Waupaca here in set 3. I don't know what Waupaca talked about in between set 2 and 3, but whatever they did say, it's been working. As subbing out is the freshman Ava Adamczyk for Olivia Kinnear. Point there for the Vikings on the serve out of bounds. Here's number 8 with the serve. High up in the air, and Martin's just going to kind of do a little push pass over Not getting high enough was Alexandria Bryce. It's another point for the Comets. And coming out is Soto for, I believe, Ava Whittle. 8's there in time. Mejia, nice hit back by Bechard. Denmark thought they were going to catch Waupaca off guard. Bechard says not today and gets another point for the Comets, a 20-7 lead. They're 5 away from taking set number 3 as Molly Martins hits the net there on the serve. And it's a point for the Vikings. Here's Rebecca Dittmer now with the serve, trying to get this Vikings roster going. Dittmer, Soto has to dive for it. That one hits the top of the net but stays in bounds. It should be a point for the Vikings, and it will be. So 20-9 now here in set number 3. Waupaca took set number 1, 27-25. Vikings came back on an 8-0 run and took set number 2, 25-21. Waupaca on their way to taking set number 3, and that's going to help them a little bit on the spike and score from Haley Bechard. It's now 21-9 as the person who scored the last play will now serve it away. That's Bechard. Here's 8 setting up Riley Mlasilva, and it's another point for the Comets, 22-9 now. Kane. Here's a spike and a nice collection there from Kinnear. Here's Carlson. The Vikings are there in time. Here's the spike from DeWar, and that one's getting at the top of the net, and a point for the Vikings. (22-10). Vikings need to do everything they can to try and make this one competitive. Soto hit it up in the air, but Kling couldn't get there in time. It's a point for the Vikings. And it was Elena Mejia who got the 8-0 run started for the Vikings last set, as that one heads out of bounds on the serve. So 23-11, down by 2 points away from taking set number 3. Serving it for the Comets is going to be Peyton Carlson. Nice dive there from Dittmer. Hitting it over is Sinclair, and there's another point for the Comets. And they are now 1 point away from taking set number 3 and being up 2-1 in this match. High up in the air, 8 collects it. Here's DeWar. Nice dive there from Carlson. Hit tapped over, and a point for the Comets. Ava Damchek takes it for Waupaca. 25-11 is your final here in set number 3. The Comets take a 2-1 series lead here in this match between the Denmark Vikings and the Waupaca Comets. We're going to head to a commercial break here on Zaleski Sports.
After a couple years of this, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That's where Midstate Technical College comes in. Got a passion for helping people? Maybe you like cars. Are you into science? Are you good with computers? No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options. Stop getting by and level up today.
At Ridgestop Exteriors, we're more than your average home improvement company. We're your neighbors, and for over 20 years, we've been trusted and proudly serving right here in your community. Customer service is our #1 goal. Call now for your free estimate.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
When it comes to propane, this is the best time of the year. Get your fill scheduled before the winter weather sets in, and you'll be glad you did with L&L Propane in Waupaca. Servicing all throughout central Wisconsin, no matter the size of your propane need, L&L can get you set and ready for your home needs, business needs, crop drying, and so much more. Don't get caught paying those late season prices for your propane this year. Just call L&L Propane at 800-924-5975. That's 800-924-5975 for the best propane price of the year.
My grandparents worked so hard their whole life to keep things nice. You want to make sure that you're getting the job done correctly. At no point did I feel like I wasn't being handled by professionals. They were literally taking it on a surgical level, it seemed. Like they were very, very thorough on every step. I feel like Infinity treated my family with the same respect they would have treated their own. I feel like my house is brand new again.
Selling your car to Doll Auto is quick and easy. Bring your title and keys, and you'll have a check in as little as 30 minutes. Still owe money on your vehicle? No problem. We'll take care of it. Doll Auto. Simple.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's currently 2-1 in the series between the Denmark Vikings and the Waupaca Comets. I'm Brett McNamara, and you're listening on Zaleski Sports on YouTube. If you're just joining us, the Waupaca Comets took set number 1, 27-25. Then in set number 2, it was all Denmark taking that one, 25-21. And then in set number 3, I don't know where this came from, but Waupaca just shot out of a cannon and took that one 25-11. As we head to set number 4, it's going to be Ava Adamczyk serving this one away for the Comets as they look to finish this one off here in set number 4, and we are underway. High up in the air, and that's going to be Riley Mazilva, and a point for the Vikings. Good start here for Denmark. They really needed it after the performance in that last set. A couple little subs here. Kinnear subbing in for Adamczyk, and Dittmer in for Alexandria Bryce. So Dittmer now with the serve with a 1-point lead for the Vikings. Soto's there, hitting it back and not getting there in time. It's going to be a point for Denmark. It's actually a point for the Vikings. Or excuse me, for Waupaca. Some sort of a violation. It's now 1-1 here in set number 4. Infinity Exteriors installing Peace of Mind roofing, siding, and windows built to last, saving our communities from unscrumptious contractors. We guarantee quality you can trust. That's Infinity Exteriors. Another point here for the Vikings. 2-1 now, Denmark. Soto high up in the air. Here's Whittle with the hit out of bounds. Another point for the Vikings, 3-1. As now serving will be Elena Mejia. Denmark needs to have a competitive match here to try and keep it going. And there's Carlson with a hit in the score. And once again, you're seeing Waupaca going very quickly. But Chard just hustles right back to that line to get the ball in the serve. In about 5 seconds, you're already serving another one off. But Chard now with the hit. They're going to set up Carlson here. Here's the spike and the, oh my goodness. Right at the head of number 8. It will be a point for the Comets. It's now 3-3. And it looks like a timeout. They're just going to make sure to check on number 8. Once again, I'm not sure who that is. The only 8 we got is on the JV roster, Chloe Schrader. Bechard hits the net on the serve. And the Vikings retake the lead 4-3 as they do their double substitution. Coming in now is Madison Melfroyd to serve it away. 4-3 lead here for the Vikings. They need to take this one to keep their hopes alive and try and gain another win. Here's Carlson. That one's in. Another point for the Comets. And it feels like Peyton Carlson's in the air forever. High in the air. And there's a point for the Vikings. Nice little rally between the two squads. And another substitution here. Dittmer coming out for number 4, Bryn Delarwell. She'll serve it away now for the Vikings. Here's Soto. High in the air, a dam check. The freshman gets it over, collected by Kane. Here's Bryce now with the hit. She's not there in time. That was Soto trying to get that one. It'll be a point for the Vikings. And I believe it's Addison Kane's, I want to say 1,000 kill. So a little bit of a timeout here for her on number 1,000. I want to say it's 1,000th kill. That's what we're going to go with. Yes, 1,000 digs. Thank you, Gus. So 1,000 digs for the libero and senior Addison Kane. So congrats to her for this remarkable milestone. They take a little bit of a timeout. So 4-6 currently is the score. Vikings at 6, Comets at 4. As serving it away now is going to be Bryn Delarwell. You just heard the PA announcer congratulate Addison Kane. And we are ready to go once again. Bachard high in the air and out of bounds, but tipped by Bryn Delarwell on the spike from Peyton Carlson. And the Comets are one away from tying this one up here in set number 4. Once again, the Comets have a 2-1 lead here in this match, looking to end it here in 4. Setting up high in the air is Bryce, and that one's going to head out of bounds. Point for the Comets. 6-6 now. As here is Soto with the serve. Kane collects that one. That one heads out of bounds. Vikings get the points, and now Kane, after just achieving 1,000 digs, is going to serve this one away. Nice scoop and hit from Martins. And a big hit there from Alexandria Bryce, having to retrieve it all the way back was Carlson, as that one stays in bounds somehow, some way. Nice little bump in the air. Here's a damn check. That one's going to hit the net, and it's going to be a point for the Vikings. Good little rally between the two squads here, and every single set's been pretty competitive. Maybe set number 3 not so much, but still both the teams are in it to win it. Of course, very two high competitive squads looking to pick up another win for their teams. Here's Soto now with the collection. High up in the air. It's going to be Carlson. Tried to fake the spike and go with a little bit of an underhand hit, but she couldn't do that one. She hits the nets. Now a 9-6 lead for Denmark. Here's Kane now with the serve. Carlson high in the air for Soto. Hitting it over is Martins. Kane collects that one. Here's Melfroid setting up Bryce perfectly, but it's a point for, no, it's going to be a point for Denmark. And it's now a 10-6 lead, Vikings. Point there for the Vikings. Once again, 3 in a row. Here's Kane now. Bachard hits it out. Kane collects that one. Nice job there by the Vikings. Nice little scoop hit there from Carlson. Bachard, nice dig, saving it up in the air. Carlson's got to get it over, and she does. Nice job there from Peyton Carlson to keep this rally alive. High in the air, hit by Kling. Soto to a damn check, high, and hit by DeLarwell. Kling, Carlson, a damn check, just taps it over, and a point for the Comets. What a rally. That one barely gets over the net. Here's Bryce now. And a point for the Vikings, 12-7. And now serving it away is going to be number 8. Vikings up 12-7 here in set number 4. They need this one to stay alive and have a chance to make the comeback. But currently, the Comets are trying to make their own comeback as that one heads out of bounds on the hit from Haley Bachard. It's now 13-7 Vikings. For all your propane needs in Waupaca, Watoma, Princeton, Fremont, and surrounding areas, turn to L&L Propane, specializing in propane tanks, new installation, filling, repairs, moving tanks, and more. That's L&L Propane in Waupaca. Hit over, collected by Carlson. Here's the setup for Bachard. She just taps it over. A nice job there from Haley Bachard. And Kane is very upset with the call by the referee. She believed she got under it. But they're going to give the point to Waupaca. It's now 13-8. With a damn check waiting to serve it away. And there's the miscommunication. Back-to-back points for the Comets. And maybe here's the momentum to get them closer and closer to tying up the Vikings and possibly taking the lead here in set number 4. The Comets looking to run away with it, or excuse me, to come back and steal this victory. Hit up in the air. Mahia collected by a damn check. Carlson! You can't stop her. Peyton Carlson, the senior, with the spike and the score. And it's now 10-13. Comets down by 3. DeLarwell set up for Melfroid. Here's Bachard now with the hit and a nice block there from Bryce. Carlson! Peyton Carlson making every play known to mankind tonight. 11-13, Comets down by 2. Vikings, just when you thought they're having this nice momentum push, and there's another miscue. It hits the top of the net, and Waupaca's scoring on everything. They're now only down by 1. It's 13-12. Turn to Farmers State Bank for all your banking needs. Farmers is proud to support all of your Waupaca high school athletes and wishes all the Comets the very best this season. And that's going to be a line violation on the Vikings. I just mentioned they're scoring every way possible. Here's a new one, a line violation. We are tied 13-13. The Vikings were well on their way to taking set number 4 as that one heads out of bounds on the serve from a Adamczyk. Student section getting loud. Adamczyk subs out for Kinnear. Here comes the serve from Dittmer. And that one heads out of bounds. Nice awareness there from Kinnear. We are tied at 14. Here's Martins with the serve. Hit up in the air by Kane. Big hit from Dewar. She gets the point for the Vikings. And this set's looking very comparable to the first set, where it was very back and forth, and eventually led to an overtime set. I guess you can consider it an overtime set, where it was tied 24 apiece in a win by 2 situation. And there's an out-of-bounds serve. So 15-15 now. Each team 10 points away from taking this set. I guess we will see what happens, but no matter what, it's been an amazing set between these two squads. Haley Bichard with the serve. Kane collects that one. High up in the air, the hit by Gabrielle Sinclair. That one is inbounds, and a score for the Vikings. They take the lead once again, 16-15, and here comes the substitutions for Denmark. Serving now for the Vikings is Madison Melfroid, collected by Bichard. Setting up is Carlson! Peyton Carlson! Looking like an assassin tonight, hitting it right at the players of the Vikings. And you can hear the MVP chants, and she well deserves it. Making every single play tonight for the Comets. And another point for Waupaca, and here come the Comets, a 17-6 lead. They have their first lead here in set number 4. Once again, they have the lead 2-1 in sets, looking to end it here in set 4. High up in the air for Gabrielle Sinclair, and there's a point for the Vikings. We are tied 17 apiece. As serving for the Vikings is going to be Bryn DeLarwell. DeLarwell gets it over the net, collected by Haley Bichard. Nice play there. Here's a Adamczyk, high up in the air and out of bounds on the hit from Addison Kane. She tried to set it up for one of her teammates, and she couldn't do it there. 18-17 lead for the Comets. Fletcher's Jewelry in downtown Waupaca is the 4th generation locally owned jewelry store. Find the perfect ring, necklace, earrings, watch, diamond, and so much more. Perfect for any occasion, even offering repair. That's Fletcher's Jewelry in downtown Waupaca. Setting it up for Alexandria Bryce. That one heads out of bounds, but hit out of bounds by a Waupaca player, so it's going to be a point for the Vikings. And now waiting to serve is Addison Kane. Once again, she reaches 1,000 digs here in this one, so congrats to Addison Kane, the senior libero. We are tied 18 apiece. Once again, a very competitive matchup between the two squads. Kane hits that one out of bounds. And at this point in this set, that is a crucial point that could be very beneficial for the Comets to take this one. Serving it now is going to be Taylor Kling. High up in the air, they're going to set up Mahia, and Kling can't get there in time. We are tied at 19. Subbing in for Denmark's going to be Riley Mazilva. And number 8 for Geneva Carmen and Madison Melfroyd. Serving it now is going to be number 8. Here's the big hit from Adamczyk. Nice block there from Mejia and Bryce. Setting up Bachard now. They got to retract their steps. They get there in time. Kane hits it over. Here's Carlson back over to Martins, and Kane can't get there in time. It's a point for the Comets. They are 5 away from taking this one on the hit from Molly Martins. Now the freshman Ava Adamczyk with the serve. Here's the hit collected by Bryce. High up in the air for Milzilva. Bachard hits it over. Nice job there. Out of bounds, making the play. Here's Mejia. Soto having to run for his cling. Hitting it over. Bachard. What a play there by the Comets. Hitting it over lightly is Milzilva. Setting it up. Here's Carlson, and it's a score. You knew it was coming eventually. Peyton Carlson making the play. It's 21-19 Comets, and it's been back and forth, and finally a 2-point spread for the Comets. Ava Adamczyk with the serve once again. Nice dig there by DeLarwell. Making the play is Adamczyk. Setting up for Carlson once again, and another point. Peyton Carlson does it once again. I cannot believe what I'm witnessing. It's been all Peyton Carlson tonight, the senior, making play after play for this Comet squad. They have a 3-point lead here in set number 4. And a miscommunication. You usually see that for the Denmark side. They've had it a couple times, but the first time tonight for this Comets team. It's now 22-20. I need to settle down. It's been very exciting. And I just need to take a deep breath. You can hear the student section getting loud for Waupaca. 22-20 here in set number 4. Dittmer with the serve. High up in the air. Here's Carlson. Peyton Carlson, 3 in a row for the Comets. They are 2 away from taking this one and improving to 20-10 on the season. Here's the serve. Dittmer having to move out of the way. Kane gets there in time. 8 hits it over. Here's Bachard with the hit, and there's another point. Haley Bachard gets in on the action, and they are now 1 away from taking this one. And here is the serve from Molly Martins, the senior, 24-20 in set number 4. Collecting it is Kane. High up in the air for Mejia. Nice dig there from Kling, hitting it over and out of bounds on the hit from Carlson. Vikings still in it, down by 3. Elena Mejia in set number 2. She led this team to an 8-0 run in a victory in set number 2. Can she put one together? One last effort for this Viking squad. Setting up Carlson. It's over. Peyton Carlson finishes it off for the Comets, and they take this one in 4 sets, 25-21, as Waupaca improves to 20-10 overall. Denmark falls to 17-7. As make sure to stay tuned for the Waupaca Foundry postgame show here on Zaleski Sports for a job that will ignite your career. Apply today at jobs@waupacafoundry.com. That's jobs@waupacafoundry.com. Once again, I'm Brett McNamara. Stay tuned for the Waupaca Foundry postgame show here on Zaleski Sports.
The mission at Waupaca Foundry is to provide all of the world with our great quality castings.
I think it'd be kind of hard to find this sort of environment working anywhere else. It's a little bit different than your typical factory setting.
People think that we just pour, we pour a few castings, but like here at Plant 1, we're pouring 3,000 different parts.
There's a lot to learn, and it's fascinating. When I started and I said that to myself, well, if I don't give it a shot and I don't try out the job, I won't know if I actually like it. Do I stay because of my team leader and my foreman and the guys I work with over there? They make it fun and easy and interesting. They're willing to help. They're willing to teach. They give you the time to learn.
As long as you show up, you do what you're supposed to, you ask questions, and you put your best foot forward, you literally can keep moving up.
One of the things that has kept me tied to the company is how do you feel? When you go every day to a place, you belong to a team, you have opportunity for growth, that's the right place to be.
I take pride in everything I do. And if you take pride in what you do, you're always going to do your best at it.
Waupaca has opened up a lot of opportunities for me. They've sent me to school. I have an associate's degree now. I take pride in that because I've always wanted to have a college degree, and now I have it, and Waupaca supplied that to me.
I feel like we are an elite team that keeps this place running in Melton Iron, and I like to feel part of something bigger.
I enjoy working with everybody. I love being up here in Wisconsin.
It's like a brotherhood. Everyone knows everyone. Everyone's looking out for everyone.
The people that make up Waupaca Foundry are just really genuine, hard-working people.
I take pride in everything I do. And if you take pride in what you do, you're always going to do your best at it.
We build a good sense of camaraderie with our teams, so it just allows for a more well-rounded and healthy work environment.
It's not just a job, it's a career.
What our differentiator is, Waupaca is a company, first it has a welcoming culture. So no matter what your background is, if you are coming, willing to do your job and contribute to the company growth and also growth yourself, you will find the right place.
We make products that help people. I don't ever want to have to worry that you get in your vehicle and you go home and something breaks or fails because we didn't do something right on our process. It all matters.
Waupaca Foundry, it's one of the largest iron foundries in the world.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Waupaca Foundry Postgame Show. I'm Brett McNamara, and you're listening on Zaleski Sports. Alongside me is Liz Kinnear and Ava Adamczyk. Gals, you had a great game today. You guys won it in 4 sets. Coach, what was the mindset going into this one?
Well, we knew this was going to be a big game for us. Denmark has been really competing in our conference. So we had watched film on them, obviously have seen stats and matchups, and we knew that they were going to be a good team. So we did our homework, and I think we did a pretty good job getting prepared for them. But they are a good team. Their libero is awesome. She digs balls and gets balls in serve receive that nobody should be able to get. So it was a fun matchup for tonight.
Exactly, you said it correctly. It was Addison Kane. She got 1,000 digs tonight. Congrats to her. Going down the stretch, you guys only have a few games left. Are you changing anything, or are you going to stick with what's working for y'all?
We kind of take it day by day. We check to see what's working in practice, what's working in matchups. We only have 3 games left. We just got done with a huge stretch. We had a big 3-week run of tournaments, back-to-back tournaments, 2 matches a week. So we have a little bit of time to work on things and try some new stuff. And we always like to keep it fresh and just see what works best for us. So we know going down the stretch that we're going to have some tough teams to match up with. We see Freedom this week, and then we see Little Shoot and then we finish with Luck. So they'll be great games to prepare us for postseason.
Exactly, you said it correctly. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
Thanks for being here tonight.
No problem. I'm going to talk to Ava here. Ava, you're a freshman on this great Waupaca Comet squad. For you, what's the mentality when you're going into these very hard matchups between a great Denmark squad? Your coach mentioned it. What are you thinking going into these ones?
I kind of just try to shake off all the nerves of being the youngest on the team, having everybody watching me, and just to focus on doing my job and what I'm on the team for. And I just like to pretend that whether I am or whether I'm not, how good I am, I just say that I'm able to do this, I'm able to be the best that I can be for each and every game, and it seemed to be working.
Yeah, it's been working perfectly. We saw it tonight. You had a lot of great serves. Your teammates seem to be always hyping you up. You guys have a great squad going on here. In the locker room, what are you guys all saying to each other? I know you guys you guys are loving each other. It's awesome. You love to see it out here. What are you guys all saying to each other in the locker room?
Yes, in the locker room, we tend to listen to a lot of cringy old music that really gets us just up and going, and we just are the craziest people in the locker room.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to hand you the mic. You know what you're doing?
Yes.
All right.
I'm a Ava Adamczyk, and I'm in the house!
Good luck to you guys this season. See ya.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Have a good one. Good luck to your season.